Hello. Okay. So, today is another VR prototyping day. We'll get started in just a second. So, what did we do last time? So the first session, we created these drums and the drumsticks. We made one drumstick and tried to hit the drum, and what happened was that so this drum has a rim and it has a skin, and I wanted a separate sound for the skin and a separate sound for the rim, but what was happening was they were both triggering at the same time, and what it ended up being was quite a simple fix. By default, Godot puts a 0.4, I think it was, or 0.04 margin on collision objects, which, you know, when you're doing a regular video game is not necessarily an issue, but with a real-world scale VR game, 0.04 units is actually 4 centimeters. So basically the drums were triggering 4 centimeters away from the drum head, and we were getting double sound. So I fixed that. That was good. Then what did we do? We got the separate sounds. I imported some temporary sounds from LMMS as sound library. I need to check the license on those to see if they'd be shippable. I suspect they may not be, because I think LMMS has a GPL license, and therefore the audio would also be, I mean, it would be shippable, but obviously I'd have to do source stuff. So what are we going to be doing this session? That is a very good question. One second, I forgot to do a thing. Here we are. Okay. Let me just double check that the Twitter stream is working. It seems to be, so that's good. Okay. So today what I wanted to do was possibly make an actual drum kit, as well as, what were the other plans I had? The other plans I had were to possibly make some level stuff and to sort of do maybe some spell stuff when you hit the drums. I'm not sure. I had a plan and it's just completely gone from my head. That's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, let's turn the hand models back on because that was tripping me out last time. So let's give this VR test 2 a go, just to see if it's still working. It should be. We've got our headset. Okay. And we've got the drum, we've got the hands. Oh yes, so this was another thing I did. I got the snare drum. I did some custom scripting and got the snare drums to have snare, rattle snare, this thing here, um, basically this thing here triggers whether the snare rattle is on. And then this is just a bass drum. So, what were the plans I had? I had plans for... Yes, that was it. I wanted to try and get the velocity thing working to tweak whether the like how hard the sound gets hit and stuff. Okay. So let's see if I can work out how we get the the drumstick velocity. So funk. Let's start with physics process. No, process. It'll probably need to be a physics process, but we'll pass on that for now. Var av val readings equals array var reading count equals let's make that a const. Reading val reading count equals 30, and then we'll say func calc velocity. So this is based on the idea of the velocity calculation from the VR tutorial, the Godot official VR tutorial. So let's have a look at that. Hopefully things won't break. So we go to left controller, they have the same script, and we say velocity. How many counts of velocity are there? 28. So physics process update controller velocity. Controller velocity equals 0. Prior controller velocity is 0. Okay, let's just see what we've got. We've got controller velocity. Variable to hold the VR controller's velocity. This is only a rough approximation, though it works fairly well in most cases. That's fine. Prior controller position, an array to hold the last 30 calculated controller velocities. This is this is used to get a rough approximation of the controller's velocity. Okay. So the things I need are velocity readings, prior velocity readings, and we've got prior position 3000, and don't really need that. And then we've got the actual velocity itself. Current velocity 3000. Okay. So it is a physics process. We say excuse me. If get is active, wait, is that a thing? Get is active is an AR VR controller thing. We want to say calc velocity delta. Okay. Delta. Oop, controllers turned off, that's fine. Calc velocity delta. Okay. So we want to say current velocity equals vector 3.0 for val, if prior, if val readings dot size greater than 0, we want to for velocity val in val readings concurrent velocity plus equals val, and then what we say after that is current val equals current val divided by prior val readings dot size. Why is this? Right. So how do I do this? 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 So if I want the VR hand to be able to do velocity as well, so this script was assuming the velocity of the hand because you're going to be throwing things, but with the drumstick and the hand, they are two different types of object. So I kind of could do with a module that I can stick in under both hand and let's do this. Let's make a spatial node. Does it need to be a spatial node? I don't think it needs to be a spatial node. We'll call this velocity calculator. And we will add a script. And we will put that, yes, we'll put that in the general thing. Okay. So then we want to take this code from here to put it in here, we probably want to take all of these and we want to take these and put them in here. Okay. Now, the max velocity might be a thing that it would be better to have separately for the drumstick in the hand, so we might change that, but drumstick, where did current velocity go? Okay. Var current velocity equals vector 3.0. So we will say tell you what we'll do. We'll leave this out. So we're going to just do this. Vel readings. Oh, okay. Vel readings equals array. Last position 3.0. Current velocity. Okay. So my plan is, what we're going to do is we're just going to have this count velocity here. And then when the drumstick is alive, func physics process, if not sleeping, velocity calculator dot calc velocity delta, and then we want a func get velocity return current velocity. Okay. Current val, and current val. Okay. So let's have a look at this thing here. Relative controller position equals global transform to origin minus the prior controller position. Current controller velocity plus equals relative controller position. Add the changing position to the prior changing position. Okay. Okay. And then we go VR hand script drum hand controller physics process if get is active if has node velocity calculator equal dot calc velocity delta. Okay, and let's just add this into the drumstick. If has node, do that. And then what we do is we pass the velocity calculator into both the hand, save this branch as scene, source, velocity calculator, and then really I should make a new folder for that. New folder, velocity calculator, and doop doop, and put that into its own thing. Okay, velocity calculator, drumstick, and we want to add this as a scene to that. Okay, let's put it at the top somewhere. And let's put it at the top somewhere, just to make it easier to see. Okay. What is this? Just a thing. Okay. Velocity calculator, calc velocity. And then we want to say drumstick. Drumstick, VR hand, VR test 2, drum. Drum doesn't need to know just yet, so. Oh, these errors. No, I need to work out a better way of connecting them. That's fine for now. So I really wish I had my third monitor, but it's currently broken. So let's put this like this and put this like this. Okay. Let's full screen this and full screen this. And then we say rel controller pause equals global transform dot origin minus last position current val plus equals rel controller pause bell readings dot append relative controller rel controller pause last pause equals global transform dot origin, and then finally control current val divided equals delta gives you the average, and then if readings dot size is greater than 30 val or greater than max readings, we then say val readings dot remove 0. So remove the first index. Okay. Equals global transform dot origin equals get parent dot global. There we go. I mean, the other option would just to be to sort of get the velocity of the hand and on drum strike the held object could be past the velocity data. That would work. That would work. That would definitely work. The only thing is, if you throw the drumstick, you would lose that velocity data. Does that matter? I feel like it would be a nice thing if, because the vision of this game I'm having is it's kind of like something a bit like a Beat Saber, where it's a little bit of a spectacle game and you want to do things as cool as possible. So if you throw the drumstick and it lands on the drum, you want it to have as much velocity or as much impact as it would have otherwise. So yeah, I think doing it this way for now. I'll put it in the notes. Let's put notes 2022 03 08. Perhaps in part will calculate velocity only in hand and pass to held object can impart a velocity to thrown objects, but at the moment when was the last stream? That was around about the 5th, I think it was. Doesn't matter too much. General idea. Okay, but at the moment keeping a sub module for calculating velocity, so that drumsticks can calculate their own velocity even if not in hand. I think that's a good compromise. Ooh, okay, so current velocity. Was there anything else I needed from this other script? Prior control of velocities move. Process directional movement. I think this is all good. Okay, time to minimize this. Time to maximize this. So, drumstick, if it's not sleeping, velocity calculator on drumstick. Okay. So then on drum, Get volume from velocity, collider. Collider. If collider.getParent is rigid body. Okay. Let's delete this from here for now. And then what we're going to say is velocity equals 1.0. We'll say default assumes a full-sized hit. Then we'll say hit with a drumstick, velocity equals collider.getParent. I mean, this isn't a great way to do it. We'll do it for now. Velocity calculator. If collider.getParent.has node velocity calculator. Again, really not a good way of doing it. I don't know how else to do it right now. Velocity equals getParent dot get velocity. Get volume from velocity. And then I need to somehow map the... We need to somehow map the... So like minus, if we look at audio bus, okay, that didn't really do anything. If we just add my microphone for a second, add a bus, add effect, recording, up. Okay, doesn't matter. Right, so basically you've got 6 dB up and you've got minus 72 down, and anything between about... So if you're doing like media broadcasting, if you have something you know the volume of, like an advert, they are allowed to do it to like minus, I think it's -3 or -0.3 decibels, which is why ads are always a lot louder, because at least in the UK, the broadcasting specification says that it can't go above this specific level ever. And so if you've got a movie or a TV show that's an hour or half an hour long, or you know a couple of hours long, it's very hard to check the dynamic range and make sure things don't peak past a certain level. So they basically hard limit it to a certain range below that maximum, just to make sure that they've got some headroom. But with ads, because they're relatively short, you know, a minute to 2 minutes long, they can check and they can force that sound right up against that barrier. And that's why ads, TV ads, are so much louder. The point is that anything sort of between 0 and minus, I think it's about minus 25 is considered a good sound. Anything below like minus 25 down to about minus 40 is considered a low sound, and then anything below, I think about 50 is considered silent. I think that's about right. Might be a bit iffy on that, but not far off, I don't think. So basically, I need to map it to such that it's we need to map the calculated value between minus 50 and 0 dB is what I'm trying to say. Let's have a look-see. Print collider's velocity is meters per second, and we say velocity. Okay, and then let's break here. Let's give it a go. So what should happen now is it should stop and tell me. Oh, tell you what, the Vive is not as comfortable to wear as the Index. Oh, okay. Breakpoint. Output. Velocity is that. Oh yes. Okay, so I need to get velocity dot length. So we want to get the velocity in 3D and then apply that to a general sized non-vector, essentially. It's not very well worded, but that's essentially what you want to do. Grab these before the game starts. Okay. Velocity is 1.1 meters per second. Cool. Hey, okay. Let's turn off the breakpoint and let's see if I can hit that drum harder. How hard was that? 7 meters per second. Okay. Right, so how do we then apply that? Hit with drumstick. Collider's velocity is 0 meters per second. What? What? Does the drumstick have the velocity calculator? It does. Okay. Glider's velocity is 0 meters per second. Why? Drumstick, if not, is sleeping. Print calculating drumstick velocity. Interesting. Okay. So physics process delta, if has, else. Print drumstick has velocity calculator. Right. Else print drumstick is sleeping. Right now, please come back later. Okay, and we run it again. Ooh. Okay. So why is that not working? Print interaction. Play. I think I see the problem. Okay, I think I see the problem. We go to VR hand. Where's VR hand? VR test, drumstick, AR VR, static body, left hand, script. On trigger button pressed, pick up rigid body. Yes. So when does interact get called here? On button press trigger, held object or interact. Okay, I think we say held object.interact. On sleep, body can sleep, body sleeping equals false. I don't really see why we would need this necessarily, but... What the? Come on! What is going on here? Calculating drumstick velocity. Okay. Okay. So, just for some reason, that set interaction on the drumstick. Set physics process true. So, why did that not trigger a thingamabob? Touched action set point. Hand tracking is supported. Interaction. Okay. That didn't. Oh, I know why. Must have still. Yeah, I had breakpoints disabled. Okay. Okay. Great. Interaction. Cool. Okay. So it was basically, I wasn't calling interact, so this set physics process was never true, so therefore this wasn't working. Great. So now I can pass on all of both of these. No, actually I don't want to pass on those, I just want to... Probably should make that an error or something, but we'll leave it at that for now. Velocity for the drumstick is 3.3. Oh yeah, okay. Now, this isn't necessarily the most logical way to do it because that's just calculating linear velocity. But with the drumstick, what we're really interested in is angular velocity, but I'm not really sure it makes that much difference. If we were making like a proper drum simulator, it would probably make a difference, but for something that's just meant to be a little sort of fun game to sort of get you a bit moving, make some musicy noises, I think linear velocity is fine for now. But we'll add it as a thing. Maybe in future, make drumstick velocity calculations based on angular, not linear velocity for more accuracy. Okay. So how then do we... Let's turn this off for a minute. Let's go back to this and just check that you're actually getting the audio. You're not getting the audio, no. Why are we not getting the audio? Because I updated the thing. Save. Okay, now do you get the audio? Yes. Great. Perfect. Okay, brilliant. Sorry about that. What else shall we do? We need to do the thing. We need to actually calculate this velocity volume. How do we do this? Wider. Pass. Get volume from hit type. Pass, and then we want to say calculate final volume. Val collider hit type. Let's try this. Say vol equals (1.0), and then we say vol times equal get volume from velocity or vol times equal get volume from material collider vol times equal get volume from hit type. I don't know that we need that, but we'll leave it in there for now. Return vol, and then we want to map the volume to a range. Okay. Calculate final volume. Max vol equals 0.0. Const min vol equals -50. So I may have to reference a previous audio thing that I've done in Godot, which I would like to demo at some point because I think it's kind of neat, even if it's not quite finished. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Oops. So we want to say, so we want to somehow map 0.0 equals -50 equals min vol -50 map 1.0 equals max val 0. So we say val, var final val equals map. Let's just check that map is an actual thing. Map. Range? No. Where is the functions? Clamp. Maybe clamp. Wraps float value between max and min, usable for creating loop-like behavior. No, so we don't want wrap. Range lerp. Map a value from range I start, I stop. Range lerp versus... Okay, let's try range lerp. Range lerp. So the value should be vol. The I start, input start should be 0.0, 1.0, output start should be min vol, and that should be max vol. I think. So I guess hit type returns a specific The plan with this would be for this to what would the plan be? So maybe with hit type you want to be able to apply a specific volume multiplier based on skin versus rim material. Maybe. Velocity, we say so let's say const max velocity equals 5 meters per second. Return range lerp value is velocity. I start equals 0.0. I stop is max val. Output is 0.0 and 1.0. Is that simple? I think that might be that simple. So calculate final volume. We pass in the velocity, we get a value between 0 and 1. Let me just, with the drum, let me just see what the sound thing does. Drum audio player 3D, volume dB. Volume sound in dB. And that could be up to plus 24. But that's going to deafen people, so you don't really want to go above. You don't really want to go above that unless the sound itself is very quiet, but really you'd want to normalize the sound before you put it into the engine. So yeah. Let's just return 1 for now. And return. So if I've done this right, what should happen is we get a quiet drum sound effect when the velocity is very low. Obviously it needs to affect the timbre as well, but come on. Okay, that clearly hasn't worked. Wait, what? Print set volume to this amount. And we try it again. Set volume to 0.508. What? Set volume to 0.06. So is it the range lerp that's not working? Range lerp. Ow. Why is the velocity suddenly so low? What? Have I done something funny to the scale? What's going on? I was hitting with like took a speed before. What? Okay, is this like an average velocity issue? Because that was 10. I think this is an average velocity issue. Oop. Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking to see how I can stop this. I think the simplest thing would be to turn off the errors thing. But that's not necessarily the best thing to do because it's only... Okay, so it's not a... it's an actual error thing. Let's just see. Issues. Connect. Okay, it doesn't really matter, it's just this is annoying. Connects a signal to a method on a target object, passes optional binds to the call an array of parameters. These parameters pass to the method author any parameter. A signal can only be connected once to a method. It will throw an error unless the signal was connected with connect reference counted. To avoid this, use is connected. Connect a signal as reference counted. This means that giving signal can be connected several times and will once no references elect. Connect flags. How do you set the correct connect flags? Flags! Haha! So I think all I need to do. Connect reference counted. So let's try this. Come on. No more errors. Yes. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Shape sound. Velocity equals 1.0. Velocity. Oh, it's because it is the angular velocity. So when I'm hitting the drum with the drumstick, I'm rotating my wrist. So the relative velocity of the origin of the drumstick is almost nothing. Do I have to calculate the angular velocity? Probably. That's annoying. Let's just see a basic drumming tutorial. Basic drumming techniques. I mean, I would argue that his arms, if we look at this, generally speaking, he is whacking that drumstick so that the whole drumstick is moving. Don't slide your foot too far up the bass drum pedal. Okay, let's have a look at this guy. Again, there's not a huge amount of rotation, at least not on the right-hand stick. Again, this is a guy that's never played drums, trying to make a game about playing drums. So maybe I do need to calculate the angular velocity. I don't want to calculate the angular velocity. So let's just run this again and see what happens when I use just the hands. Excuse me. Oh. It's too hard without the headset on, but I'm trying to read the values at the same time. I guess what I could do is let's make a UI. Let's add a control. Full screen it. Add a label. Stick 1 val. Stick 2 val. Right hand val. Left hand val. And then what we want to do is we want to connect how to do this. We want to make a signal. Signal, create one, sound played. We do that here. Signal, sound played, velocity, and hit type. And we want to say here, emit signal, sound, and then what we want to do is we want to come into the VR test 2 and we want to connect the 3 drums to VR test. Oh, ah! Let's make this a built-in script. No, let's not make it a built-in. Test control. Add the script VR test to control. Func on played. You know what? Let's not do this. Let's literally just go func process. For things to track. Velocities to track. Thing. Calculator. Dot cal thing dot get velocity. Blah. Okay, look, this is just getting complicated. We just want to every frame label dot text equals this. We need this to be and a and and then export node path var bass drum node path snare 1 path 1 snare path 2 export node path var drum path drumstick path 1 path 2 func. I'm ready. So what I'm trying to do here is I just want to get all the velocities on screen as I'm whamming them about. So bass. Wait. Goodness sake. The things I really need to know. My brain is not quite working today. Export node path. And 1 path 1 and path 2. Okay, we can ignore these ones for now. So var drumstick equal onReady var. Probably isn't even going to work. Right, drumstick equals get node drumstick path 1. One, two, and 1. So, and 1, and 1 more. It's very badly programmed, but hey, it is just a test. So, var and 1 vel equals 0.0, var and 2 val 0.0, var and ds1 val equals 0.0, var ds2 val equals 0.0. So then we say and ds1 val, ds2 val, and 1 val, and 2 val. Okay. Now, we actually need to get the velocities, so what we do is we say if and 1, what does get node return? Get node returns null. Then we say and 1 val equals okay, what if we do this? We say get velocity object func get velocity obj if obj does not equals null, print no object found, return 0. If obj dot has node, if not has node velocity calculator, print no velocity calculator found for object return 0.0. Otherwise, return obj.get node this thing dot get velocity. Okay. So then we say and 1. And 2. Drumstick 1. Drumstick 2. Okay. So now we can run the test. Hopefully this will stay with the Where's the canvas layer? Where's the canvas layer? No. No object found. Drumstick path 1. Drumstick. Drumstick path 2. Drumstick. Hand path 1. Left hand. Hand path 2. Right hand. Save. Okay, let's give this another go. I'm not seeing any UI. What if I just move this out of the canvas layer? Hmm. Godot stick control to VR. Mm. Mm. Update UI. Thing is, I'm sure this should work. Why is this not working? I mean, the other alternative is I just and then we add a mesh to the camera. Make it a plane. Say 1.920 by 1.08. We attach it to the camera, sort of like this. And then in the material, use spatial material, albedo, use viewport texture. Local to scene, use viewport texture, viewport, boom. Does this work? Okay, this works. It's not ideal, but it works. Sure. Viewport texture. We go viewport We go transparent background. We say 8. And then we want to render target, flip the V. Rendering. And let's make this a shadeless surface, because otherwise it's just going to be sickening. Colors, font color is black. Okay, let's give this a try now. Okay, let's try this one more time. Okay, why is that so small? Fonts, styles, size flags, rect, scale, let's say 5 by 5. Okay, I can now read that, so that's fine. Make this 10 by 10. Yeah, there we go. Right. Controls. That needs to be get velocity dot length. Huzzah. Okay, so okay. Out. So how do we round this down? Return. We want to say 1D5. I think. I can never remember how to do the Godot format string. Decimal integer. F decimal real number expects to. 2D 10.3F. So if I want to, yeah, that's what I want. I want 10.3F. No, I want 2.3F. There we go. That's more readable. Calculate angular velocity. Okay. It's T. Uh, hmm. How do I calculate the... Okay, so... Let's try this then. Let's make a new thing in the drumstick specifically. Add child node. Angular velocity calculate. Add a script. Okay, we'll stick it there for now. You can always move it. And it's essentially the same thing. Let's get rid of these two for now. Last position. Do we need to take the position into account? I'm not sure we do. Let's say last basis for now. Basis. Can you subtract bases? Okay. So let's delete this and this, and let's just do it on a really simple basis right now. If no, we don't want that. What we want to say is current angular vel equals that. Then we say bar q1 equals from basis, which is the current basis, get parent dot global transform dot basis var q2 get pair, and then what we do is we say func ready q last basis equals this. Then we say last basis dot get rotation quat var qt equals q2 times q1 dot q2 q2 times q1 dot inverse bar angle equals 2 times a cos qt dot w. If angle is less than 0.0001, return vector 3.0 var axis equals vector 3 qt dot x qt dot y qt dot z divided by the square root 1 minus qt w times qt dot w. Return axis times angle. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to do what I want. So this is based on this thing. This was the 4th. Okay. Not making as much progress today as I was hoping. Never mind. Angle 2 times acos. So, oops. Basis and angular velocity. Do you want the object to stop rotating after it matches the orientation once? Okay. So, oops. Okay, calc angular velocity, print angular velocity of name is that. So let me get array, and we say angular velocity of name is this. Then we'll just and then I need to say last basis equals this. Okay, so we do that before we potentially return out. So it could be the very last thing we do here, but we'll put it here. Okay. So let's see what happens if I run VR test. So these guys should be just constantly. Whoa, there's an error. What's going on here? Cool. What? Okay, let's try this again. Okay, what have I broken? What have I broken? Headset's okay, controllers are okay. So pass. Comment this code out. Run it again. It might just be a case of needing to restart Godot, I don't know. Okay, let's restart the engine. Okay, let's see what this OpenXR error is. OpenXR API failed to end frame. Okay, I don't know what's causing this. I guess let's close Godot. Let's restart Steam VR and hope something works. Otherwise, I might have to just end the stream for now until it can work out. Or I could maybe switch to streaming something else. Okay. Okay. VR test 2. Run the test. Okay, so the only other thing I can think of is it's this viewport. Yeah, okay, it's the viewport. Oh, okay, so it was just because I'd set that to AR VR, I guess. Okay, let's... Hmm? Okay. So we go to VR test 2, we go to this script, we remove this return. And now we've got this again. Okay. So we then come to drumstick. Do this. So it's sort of working. Does it matter about delta? Okay. So let's turn this off. Get velocity. Return current angular velocity. And then we come to drum. Let's try this. Okay. Grab the stick. Alrighty. That would work. Drumstick. Let's have a look. See. Calculate angular velocity. Current angular velocity equals this. Return. Okay. Restart it. Ooh. Wait. Who did the thing? Ooh. Thank you for the follow. How's it going? Okay. So, here we go. Angular velocity 0. Why? Oh. Yeah, I thought Discord might be down. I was having weird issues. itch.io went down earlier. I don't know if there's like some coordinated attack thingy or if it's just one of those weird things where bits of the internet are just going down for no reason. What's the right lever? That's the right lever. Yeah. It's back up. No, don't leave me. Okay. Maybe we go work on something else for a bit because I don't feel like this is working. Spotify, itch.io, and Discord. I smell shenanigans. Yes, I smell hacks. Okay, so let's do all the things right. Tried adding velocity-based volume to drums. Hasn't worked so far. Need a break. We'll work on another system. What now? Okay, I think that too. Yes. You'd be crazy not to think that. Okay. So, you haven't seen this. This is a thing I'm making. It is very much a very basic prototype. We have... Oh, don't drop the controller. We have this fella here, right? Yeah, okay. So, hands. Snare drum rattler. Snare drum with no rattler. Bass drum. Toggling the snare rattle with this thingy. It also has rim. And then drumsticks. So DJ, no, drummer. And my idea for the game is sort of kind of like a drum version of Beat Saber somehow. I'm not really quite sure how yet. But yeah, that's the general make light show based on which drum is struck. Kind of. So my idea for it was man group. My idea for it, let's turn that off because it'll make you sick. My idea was sort of you are, well, let's just do a very quick thing. Let's source. Okay, I can't, oh, excuse me, can't really do that at the moment. My idea was you would be like, I don't, you know, this is going to be awful because it's going to be mouse drawn. Come on. Let's see. So my idea is, come on. Okay. Web. Let's go for this. Okay. So my idea is you are in a tower, right? You are like sort of a wizard in your tower. You're a drum wizard. Okay. So you got a drum here, you got a drum here, you got a drum here, and you got a drum here. And then your tower is full of magic, right? And you might even have a drum there. And the idea is there's like bridges leading out from your tower. Right? And somehow I want enemies to spawn sort of here and make their way down. And here, make their way down. Okay, you can see that good. And the idea would be you would have a drum. And when you hit that drum, a spell fires out. You know, it could be fire, or it could be archers. So let's just draw a bow like that. Or it could even be cavalry. So like, let's make a horsey, and then man on the horsey, and he's got a sword, and he charges up there. Yeah, something like that. And like I was thinking the hi-hats or the cymbals. So let's put this as a C, the symbol. They would be like your healing spells. And then I haven't worked out if the goal is to make good music or if it's to do it in time, so like the enemies spawn in time with the music. But this is very much the very basic prototype idea for it, just to sort of give me some content to do, because no one wants to see my card game being made when it's at this state, I don't think. It's just tweaking this card and then tweaking that card and then playtesting. So this is easier content to show off. So yeah, that is the general idea of it. I'm quite pleased with the progress I made last time, which was getting the bass drum to only have a skin sound and then the snare to have a skin and a rim sound. My original idea for today was to try and get the volumes of the drums going based on how hard you hit them. But so far that has rather eluded me. So now I'm just trying to work out what to do next in terms of the prototype. And one of the things I thought I could do maybe is start working on some sort of spell mechanic. Summon archer, summon whatnot. So spell ideas, fireball, summon archer, summon warrior, cavalry, summon ogre, frost, something weird is going on. Okay, there we go. Right. Thank you. I probably won't stream for much longer, to be honest, because I am a bit stuck. Yeah. One sec. Discordo. Okay. Okay, let's think. What can I do now for the end of the stream? Like another 15 minutes or so. Let us try adding into the drum thing. Let's add a node called spell. Okay, so spell spell. And another thing that would possibly be a thing. Okay, so let's just try this now. Let's load up Blender. Actually, do we need to load up Blender? We might not need to load up Blender because I might have it in the dev folder. Models, Castle Tower. No, I do need to. Okay. And what we would probably want is some sort of moat doodad. Okay, let's just export this for now. Export GLTF. And we will go here, source, tower, Castle Tower 1 GLB, selected objects, okay. And let's just new scene, and we'll call this level. And we want to take the VR test 2, and we want to copy this. We want to paste it into this scene. Okay, and then we want to get rid of this mesh instance. We don't need it. Tests. Level test. And then we want to add the castle. We want to add a position 3D. We want to add the castle to the position, so we'll call this level data. Okay. We want to add a static body. We call this floor. We add a collision shape. And we move this up to about where the floor is. And we want to do this in wireframe mode. How do I do wireframe mode? Wireframe, there we go. Right. Floor. Oh, what? Oh, I got it bang on. Look at that. Okay. Right. We'll make a new shape and we'll make it a cylinder shape. And we will go whoop, like so. And then whoop, like so. Bang on. Okay. 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 We make a position 3D and we'll call this drums, and we will add bass drum and a snare drum and another snare drum. We will have a look at VR test 2, see how far up the drums need to be, roughly. 0.0. Nope. Snare drum is 1.05 meters up. Transform 1.05. And then we want to put the bass drum here. We want to put the snare drum a little bit forward. Oh, wait. What? Why can't I move this back? Okay. Let's put the snare drum there. Put the bass drum there. Put the snare drum there. And then we'll give drums level data a little bit of an offset. No, it won't. What is going on? Why can't I undo anything? Doesn't matter. Okay. And then let's just move the level data over a little bit, just so I don't have to... Okay, and then the idea with this would be there would be some sort of lane system. I think these drums are going to have to be bigger. And then I'm going to have to go closer to the... That's a bit better. Maybe it's a bit too far away now. Okay. Something weird is happening there. What is that? Okay, that's that. That's that. Okay. Stop hitting the mic. Come on. So the other thing that we would have to do is make it so that the ramparts aren't the castellation bits were crenellations, whatever they're called, the towery uppy righty bits. Wouldn't be quite so uppy downy. Sort of. Bearing in mind I'm sitting down, the game is intended to be played stood up. But like this. Whoa. Okay. Why is undo not working? It's too high. One more. Okay, bang on. Shh. Because the idea would be that you want the can't remember how to get it out of wireframe. No, yeah, right. So we only need to rotate it a little bit. Teeny weeny little bit. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, the idea would be you would have a lane you would be protecting here. Like this. And there's something holding down a button somewhere. That's what it feels like. Okay. Duplicate. Something like this. Okay. And then we run the test. And you can kind of see what I'm going for. Maybe. Maybe this doesn't work from this perspective. What if I stood up? What? Drum. Move the mic out of the way. and then you'd have like maybe a drum over there for that lane. Now the tower might have to be smaller because I want this to be a standing game, not a room scale game. So my thinking with this would be something along the lines of, you start the game, you have maybe 1-2 lanes. Stop it. Okay. Oh my goodness. Right. That's as far as the way the remote can go now. No, it's not. Okay, hopefully now. Yeah, cool. So, so sorry about that. Hopefully you can still hear me. Yes, okay. So, I'm hoping you can see what I'm seeing. I think you can. So, you would have one lane, and you would have invaders coming in time to some music, possibly. You then have to go attack, and your archers will go. And then as the enemies get closer, they might do some damage, and then you need to summon something, and you'd hit like the cymbal or the hi-hat, and maybe that would do a spell that like fires all the guys, and then they die, and then maybe you've got another hi-hat, and you hit, oh my god, and you hit that, and they get healed. But then as the levels progress, you get more and more lanes, because, I don't know, more and more people are building roads to your tower, and you've got more to defend because you're a crazy cool wizard guy. And now you've got this drum. And this one fires those archers. And then maybe this one will launch the cavalry. And, you know, and then you'd have different types of enemies. And you have to, you have to choose and strategize. And it's sort of a bit of a tower defense slash Beat Saber slash maybe Plants vs. Zombies style game. So yeah, that's the general idea I'm going for. I don't know why the wind's broken on this. I don't know if it's because I've scaled them up or whatnot. But yeah, so that's the idea for the game in a nutshell. Maybe to begin with, I just make a virtual drum set, like I said last time. Release that as a thing. I don't know. See if anyone likes it. Go from there maybe. Now obviously you can't do a full virtual drum set necessarily because most people won't have foot trackers. I don't have foot trackers, so why would anyone else necessarily? But you can definitely bass drum, which would normally be on the floor, not the foot. What else could we do? So I have some ideas potentially for like mini games that you do between levels, and then you make this into more of a physical exercise kind of game. I don't know, like where maybe you can scavenge things from the battlefield at the end of each level, and then use those to forge new spells or new items that you can then use later in the game, something like that. So I've got lots of ideas. It's just about sort of developing them and prototyping them and making sure it all works. Maybe we could even have like a thing where the enemies get too close, you have like a mini drum and you go and something just comes out of the moat and just swashes them over the side. I don't know. But, maybe you can only use that once or twice, so you don't really want to use it as a... Yeah. And maybe, depending on the weight of the enemy, it depends whether it actually gets washed over or not, but it still does damage. Something like that. I don't know. But yes, I feel like I've not necessarily made a lot of progress this time. Let's bring the mic back. Okay, so not necessarily done a lot of progress today. I feel like it was a bit of a floundery, faffy day. But, you know, happens sometimes. I do think there's potential for this, even if it's just as a simple drum simulator. I don't know. I'd like to continue this on stream, but for now, I think this stream should end, and maybe I go have some dinner, and we can continue this some other time. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see. I could do general programming tutorials. I can do general game dev tutorials, both physical and video games. Can keep doing prototypes like this, whatever. Yeah. So, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.